The best use case, I would say, in terms of blockchain for the game industry, what's very important about blockchain to me is that you have, as you know, transparency, you have immutability, and one of the key aspects is the transparency. That's what brings really value to me for the game industry. Because you might have, for example, as you guys know, loot box. That's a problem for people because they don't know what's going on. They don't know if they're going to get cheated. The government even put some regulation around that. You are forced to give the numbers out, but you still don't know if people really apply that. So once you have, for example, a smart contract with the code clearly visible for the people, they can check, okay, if I want to get this crazy cool sword, I really have 1% chance, but I can see that I will really get it if I run the numbers. But if I don't see it, that's a big issue. So I believe that's one of the key aspects that would be very useful. And this transparency also applies to business. So once you want, for example, to get paid, imagine I'm on Twitch, I'm Ninja, I want to talk about games. I want to get rewarded when actually I bring somebody to buy a game, but I have no clue if the guy who's selling the game is going to pay me what I deserve. And so in a sense, everything that the blockchain provides is this visibility and then making sure every business is run properly. As a gamer, what I would want to see is like, for example, real AAA games, like really cool adopting blockchain. So if you think about it, a successful AAA games, you're going to have what? 60%, 70% of the AAA games going to be successful. Maybe 10 to 15% of the indie is going to be successful. But an indie game which is successful is like 100,000 downloads, 200,000 downloads, like successful. AAA games like 10 million, 20 millions. So which means when you have like, if you manage to gather two AAA games, like providing a framework that has legal, compliant, data compliant, new revenue streams, access to new markets, all those items will incentivize the AAA games to build something using blockchain. And then when you have this cool game, like, I don't know, Assassin's Creed, if you want then to play it, you will be included in the blockchain space. You're going to be using it, having the items without noticing anything about it. So to me, content is always key. It's been for many different type of platforms or product when it's launched. And that's what, to me, going to bring really the adoption to the market. Effectively making more money, because if you can make some money, you can actually buy more content. If you're like in a very developed country, the money you're gonna get is maybe less important. But if you're in a like Southeast Asia, where people earn less money, they will be very happy to actually earn some money that they can respend to buy more content. And this revenue stream is also something that applies to the game developers in the game industry. When you go to them and you talk to the big publishers, you tell them they're going to make more money. That's really what they care about. That's the end of the story. They're like, okay, that's a new market for us. Now we have, let's say, FIFA, for example. We can tokenize something specific within the game, and this is going to earn me more money. So it's all about proving to the big players why is it beneficial for them, and why is it beneficial for their users. And that's, to me, the evangelization that we should do to make sure we have like a wide adoption. The second aspect I think is quite important is the fact it should be easy. So if you have a solution when, like, for example, you have Google, now you can log in with Google. It's simple. You don't need to create a new account every time you join a new application or service. And I believe that should be the same case with the wallet. So if you have like one wallet, you have like one login, you just join one platform and you access everything you need. That's, to me, the best way to actually make it easy for people. They don't need to understand there is a blockchain behind. They don't need to understand it's a wallet. Like every gamer, they have like credits. Oh, I have these items in my inventory. I have this much money in my game. That's enough. They don't need to know it's a wallet. They just need to know, oh, I can use it and I can actually trade it and I get something else in return, or I can use it to buy something else. But they don't have to have the blockchain concept. Like you don't need to know it's a MySQL behind your, I mean, nobody cares. It's really about what's the usage of it. I think they're already doing it. They just don't say it. But yeah, I think many big companies, and actually in different continents, are all moving to blockchain. They just don't specifically explain it. But I think if you guys check in the coming months, you're going to start to see some important news about who's moving to the blockchain. Because some, like for example, Kakao, they are moving into the blockchain is technology. Like they're creating their own chain, for example. But you're going to have also lots of the big publishers or console manufacturers who actually are already working on these kind of technologies. But I believe when it's going to be out, people are going to be probably surprised of what's really happening behind the scene, I think. I see it more in a sense that you won't really have blockchain games and then games. You were gonna just games using blockchain. I think most of them gonna adopt it in a way because if it's proven to be better, if you don't use it, it's a problem because essentially people are gonna flock to the other games which provide you the capacity to earn something. You're gonna have also all the peripheral jobs around the industry that gonna sparkle. Because for example, if you take advertisement, which is something people don't really enjoy usually talking about. You have like 20 to 30% of fraud when people say, yeah, sure, this is how much impression you got, this is what you really have. So this is this transparency again that provide people new capacity to create businesses, which are legit. If you check, for example, when you had the iPhone, it created this whole new solution when, oh, create my app on the iPhone and make it a business. So I see it a little bit as like the iPhone in a sense, when it's a new way for people to make business, which is going to create new type of features, new type of product, which is going to be exciting for the current players and users. Definitely. So essentially the way you can monetize games has been evolving over the years. First, you had premium games, then you had free-to-play games. Actually, Korea was very popular, and it still is. The way people can make money, like monetize their players through blockchain, is very interesting for I would say the game developers. They can have all these NFT solutions that can provide them, for example, capacity to trade items, get a share of every time the item is traded, they can get a cut of it, or every time somebody resell the game, they can get a cut of it. So it's all new business models that can be attached to that, and I think people are going to get really creative. You can have anything, as long as you can create something public, so you know the smart contract going to be public. Okay, this is the rule, this is what's happening. You can be very creative, and one of the reasons why I think game industry will be leading in blockchain is they've always been on the top of the innovation. So they are prone to innovation, and the players are prone to adopt as well new technologies and new solutions. The fact of having inventory-heavy game is very important. So something when you can actually collect things, when you can a long tail game, as we call them, like a game that you play for a very long time, you can evolve. And the fact of being able, for example, to jump in the middle of the game and start directly is like a superhero level, because you actually spend some money. You can actually buy, the same way you can even buy a game account. Like right now you have, for example, World of Warcraft, people gonna sell account for $1,000. They're gonna get scammed, and Blizzard doesn't get a cut of it. The fact of having a game that adopts blockchain, for example, in a specific aspect, they can actually become attractive to people who want to jump the gun the same way we do with mobile games. Mobile games free to play, you spend money. You don't have pay to win in a sense anymore. It used to be like the trend, but now it's really like pay to progress. You're gonna spend money, you're gonna get faster quickly, and the game has to be adapted to this kind of process, I believe.